They say you can't put a price on happiness, but it cost me $250,000, and it was worth every penny. My husband bought 10 acres back in 1986 for $5,000 with settlement money from a car accident. We were barely 18. The land was pure country, nothing around except trees and dirt roads. We threw parties there, let neighborhood kids ride dirt bikes through the trails because my husband loved anything with an engine. 30 years passed. Houses popped up around us, but it stayed rural. Kids still rode bikes on our property, and we loved it. Then Patricia bought the lot next to ours. Before her house was even finished, she called asking me to cut down trees blocking her RV's view. Once she moved into the actual house, those trees wouldn't block anything. I said no. She got angry, told me I was being difficult on purpose. The complaints started immediately. Dirt bikes too loud, horses made her dogs bark. She called cops on teenagers having a legal bonfire. I started ignoring her calls. One spring I drove out and found the stream running through both properties had been dammed and redirected across my land, creating huge muddy ponds blocking the road. Patricia had called me that winter furious about flooding in her yard, blaming the stream, but she'd clear-cut every tree on her lot and graded it flat. Of course, water pooled there. I called my friend Vincent, who worked for Environmental Quality, to make sure I could legally fix it. He came out with his backhoe and we started restoring the original stream bed. Patricia ran out screaming, already had cops coming. Vincent showed them photos proving the original path. Patricia got cited, had to restore everything with native plants, pay us damages, and got a huge fine. The mud pond we couldn't drain, kids found it and spent hours riding through it instead of just passing through. Patricia called cops constantly, but the kids had permission. 2 years later, I visited and 23 massive trees were cut down, 5 chopped into firewood, a path of wood chips leading straight to Patricia's property. Her woodshed was stacked full. I cried in my truck. My husband had planted some of those trees when we first bought the land. I called police. Patricia said firewood was her only heat, and she didn't think anyone would mind. She got charged with theft. 2 years later, she paid $10,000 per tree. We sold the remaining ones for $45,000 more. Then my husband died. Heart attack at 52, completely unexpected. I couldn't visit the property for almost a year. When I finally did, I decided to sell because building there alone felt wrong. I listed it for $1 million. Patricia started telling every buyer the property flooded constantly and was worthless. I got a call about a low offer with owner-carried contract. The buyers wanted to meet Saturday. I almost said no, but something made me agree. Patricia was already there lecturing the couple when I arrived. I hung back by my truck. Then 2 kids on dirt bikes came flying down the trail, laughing. My husband would have loved that. Patricia grabbed a rock and threw it at them. Actually threw a rock at children. The husband lost it, started yelling at her to get off the property. Patricia hurried away. I walked over. The guy apologized. His name was Kevin. His boys were 8 and 10, been riding since they were 5. He explained they wanted this property for the trails, but also to build his sons a real practice track. He'd ridden motocross as a kid. He pointed where he'd build the track, right up near Patricia's house. I thought about my husband watching kids ride, how much joy it gave him, how Patricia took our trees, the ones he planted, how she threw a rock at children doing exactly what my husband loved. I said yes to everything. The low price, the contract, all of it. I took a $250,000 loss on that sale, but we'd paid $5,000 originally, made almost $300,000 from lawsuits, had 30 years of memories there.